In a prosperous African village stood a grand compound with strong walls, waiting for a worthy leader. The wealthy chief stood proudly with his son, pointing at the village lands they believed were theirs. Not far away, the farmer and his daughter worked the soil, watching silently. The chief's son grew up with soft mats and finest food, never knowing struggle. The farmer's daughter grew up carrying water and planting crops under the African sun. He never listened when elders spoke under the baobab tree, believing himself above everyone. At night, she listened to her father's stories about ancestral courage and Ubuntu. The chief spoke loudly of his success, believing his son would lead the village. The son laughed at farm work and mocked the farmer on the dusty village path. The farmer kept quiet, knowing the ancestors would reveal the truth in time. The chief called the village under the great baobab to announce a challenge. The farmer's daughter felt something stir. She stepped forward to accept the challenge. The chief's son laughed so loudly, the birds flew from the trees. Her father warned the path would be hard, but blessed her with ancestral courage. She trusted the ancestors walked with her. She was ready for the challenge. The first test began. The chief's son entered the sacred hut with drums beating. Before the moon reached its peak, he complained loudly and failed the test. The farmer's daughter entered next with a simple prayer to the ancestors. She sat listening to the village night sounds until the roosters crow at dawn. The chief was shocked. The village people whispered among themselves in surprise. The farmer's daughter bowed respectfully and thanked the elders with humility. The second test required walking the entire village boundary without rest or water. Halfway through, the chief's son complained and sat defeated under an acacia tree. The farmer's daughter walked steadily, singing old village walk songs to strengthen her spirit. Her feet ached but she never stopped. She completed the walk and won. The chief doubted himself for the first time, seeing his son's weakness clearly. The farmer held his daughter's work one hand as the village watched with new respect. The elders announced the final test: guard the compound through the darkest night. At the first drum beat and leopard growl, the chief's son barred the door. The farmer's daughter stood outside in moonlight with only her torch and courage. When drums and growls came, she raised her voice, "The ancestors protect me." The chief's son failed completely, emerging with tears and shame at dawn. The farmer's daughter poured libation thanking the ancestors. Women all related joyfully. The chief removed his hat and knelt, admitting that wealth without wisdom is worthless. She forgave them, saying, "We are all one people." Ubuntu lived in her. Under the baobab, the elders gave her the ceremonial staff and compound keys. The farmer smiled and cried for the first time in years. Drums celebrated. The compound became a place of fairness, with community meetings and shared meals. The chief's son returned humbly, asking to walk the fields and learn true values. The village flourished. Crops grew abundant, children sang, and peace followed everywhere. Riches can build compounds, but only wisdom and strong roots build a future.